Hi again, Doug here from X-Frames FPV, and today we've got a wrap-up slash final thoughts video on another one of these micro FPVs. And we talked about, I have about 7 or 8 of these that I'm testing right now, and so it's a lot of fun, number one, to just play around with them, but also to get an idea of really how they compare between each other. And you'll notice something right off the bat different here. Well, look at that. It's a 2S. This is a 300 milliamp, 7.4 volts instead of 3.725C 2S. And I got to tell you right off the bat, I'm kind of mixed about it. It is powerful. There's other models that are just as powerful. With this one, the QX90 that we tested, that thing's just as fast as this. At least in the goggles, that's the way it feels. Maybe if you race the two, there would be a little bit of a difference. But I don't think it's enough of a difference to warrant the 2S. The weight that it adds, let's get a weight here. Scale just shut off on me as I said that. It is scared to death to weigh this super heavy little 2S here. Look at that, 64 grams. That is heavy for a micro racer. It's heavy to be lifting. Let me show you a comparison all up with 56 grams on a 1S. Let's put the heavier T2, which is probably the heaviest of the bunch as far as the standard 1S, and 60 grams. So this is still a full 4 grams heavier. And I don't think you get the added performance. Is it faster than the T2 from JJ Pro? Yes. Is it faster than the QX80? I don't believe it is. And when you're done putting this thing, I'll kind of give you a look at it as we're kind of playing around here. When you're done flying this, these motors are really warm. And I can tell you for sure, for a fact, that these will not hold up very long under 2S power. I think it's a fun one to have, and if it's just one more to add to your arsenal, if you have a bunch of these and you just want to have some fun and show off to your friends, hey, look what I've got, then great, it works for that. But I just worry about its longevity of these motors. These motors are already pretty fragile because they are a brushed motor, and we're demanding quite a bit of power out of them and putting quite a bit of current through them. So, I can't say that this is a bad model. It flew good. I do apologize. We don't have any flight footage of it because the flight footage that I recorded, it did not get, for some reason, it just didn't record. So as far as I can kind of explain to you a little bit, it flies really well. As far as forward flight and racing around, it does great. If you're trying to have some fun and do a little bit of fun little freestyle, which these really are not made for too much, but if you're just kind of having fun with it, you notice the weight instantly, because anytime, even with air mode on, anytime that you drop that throttle, this thing just kind of drops out of the sky, because these motors are just not really paired well with the 2S, in my opinion. Now, some other people may have another opinion, but that's just my opinion. But this did, just on its flying capabilities, as far as how well it handled. This is, like I said, an F3 Evo, and that's a good control. That is a good flight controller. And we put air mode on. We did not tune it at all. The frame, it's got some flex, but it's not terrible. Camera is decent, not great. All in all, it's a good quadcopter. But I think what we're going to do here for the shop, I think I'm going to let my son have this, and we're going to switch it to 1S. Now, the kind of cool thing I will say about this one is with that weight, if you just weighed just it without, let's weigh it here without the battery, and that's 42, so that's right about the same. Oh no, it's less actually. I'm sorry, that's the same as the QX80, isn't it? Yeah, almost the same. Within 1 gram of the QX80, but this has a buzzer, which is kind of nice because these things, if you do lose them, they're small and they don't have any real bright LEDs to help you. So at 42 grams, this is fairly light. To switch it to, especially with a buzzer, to switch it to 1S, there's a pad that you just need to desolder. I think it's pins. I believe it's. I don't know. It's you have three pads that are on there, and 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 I think maybe 1S, and 2 and 3 is 2S, or it could be the other way around. But it's real easy to switch these back because the flight controller needs to know what power's coming into the board, especially since these are only 3.7 volts in a 1S configuration, and so. But all in all, I think this is a good model. I think it's kind of a fun one to have and to test. If you've got, like I said, if you've got a bunch of these and you want to give it a test, then buy it because it's not a terrible flyer, and it's not going to, with the 2S. I don't think these motors are going to hold up with as warm as they were getting with us really putting it through its paces. And we were purposely running this thing hard, no harder than we run any of them, but that's what we do in tests, is just really get an idea of how they, the kind of temperature range that they run at, and you do that with the full size ones as well. So I apologize that I do not have any flight footage of this one, but punch out on the 2S was not any better than the punch out on the QX80. Because of the weight. Now, fast forward flight, maybe there was a little advantage, but I couldn't tell it in flying in the goggles. So I hope you got something out of this, guys. I thank Gearbest again for providing all these models for me to test. We have had such a blast. And check out my website, xframesfpv.com. You can buy these again at Gearbest, and I hope you get some time to fly.